Here's my Wurlitzer Theatre Pipe Organ console, and I want to point out that here on the pedal is piano 16 and 8. Here we have piano 8 on the accompaniment, and on the solo down here are piano 8 and 4 for the solo. I don't have a piano on this organ. Originally, it probably not in the theater. This console has been modified from the way that this was a Wurlitzer style E console, originally in the Sheboygan Theater in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. But since it was taken out, it had been modified. The console has been modified pretty extensively, and additions were put on, including that piano, because there was no piano at the Sheboygan Theater. So we go into my room where the guts of the organ is, and here are the electronics part of the organ. What you see here is several voices of low note voices for such as tuba 16, diaphone 16, 16-foot clarinet string. There was no room in my chamber to put all those big pipes in. I have a real 16-foot Borden in there, and that's the lowest real 16-foot pipe I have. So that generator creates all those low notes that I have on the organ that I have no room for. Behind it is a relay that keys off of my shift register relay that actually runs the organ. For example, we go over here. Here's how I put the chimes, the Deegan chimes that I've got. I built, here's the shift register driver board, and here are the relays that buffer over to operate the chime. I kept the keyboard. I didn't want to cut the keyboard off, so I just spliced this into the keyboard, and that's how the chimes are played from the console. Now this brings us back to the piano. Is up here is where I'm going to mount the relay to operate my digital piano from the console. And the beauty of having a digital piano is I can fine-tune it to match the organ. It's very easy to retune the piano to match the organ. With a real piano, that's not so easy. They don't often go out of tune together. The piano may not drift the same way as the pipe organ does. Here's the rest of the electronics that runs the low note pedal voices. I also plan to mix the piano voices into this same system that plays in a speaker, that large 15-inch speaker that's buried in the chamber of my pipe organ, down below the chest. There's a large speaker that plays these low note pedal notes, and also the piano will play through that. So and here is the relay I'm building to operate the digital piano from the pipe organ. Here is the shift register driver board, and then I have to build 7 12-note buffer relays to operate the digital the MIDI scanner or the MIDI encoder, because I can't the shift register relay, when the driver outputs go to the chest magnets, they're actually pulsing on and off many times a second. Now for electromechanical relays and also chest magnets, the off interval is so short that it never drops out. But with digital, with keying a MIDI encoder directly, it totally jazzes it up. It'll just completely chatter the notes. It just doesn't work. So I have to build these buffer relays to go in between the MIDI encoder and the actual output of the shift register relay of the pipe organ. I have 4 of them built and tested. They're mounted and all tested. Everything works out. These relays, I have to build these remaining 3. And these relays key off of these ribbon cables that I have here. These ribbon cables plug into this MIDI encoder that I have. And the MIDI encoder in turn will play the sounds, the sampled sounds that are in this EMU module. There's a very nice grand piano in there, plus a lot of other sounds as well. So that's how I intend to play the digital piano from the pipe organ. So this is coming along. My next video, I'll show this thing probably mounted in place where it's going to be mounted. Thanks for watching.